Good morning, Ajarn John here. Today I am going to answer the essay question. The more possessions and money we have, the happier we are. Do you agree or disagree? So do we become happier when we have more stuff, more money, more cars, houses, jewelry, etc.? In the picture, you can see a hobo, a homeless person. This picture is actually from the American Depression around 100 years ago, when many people didn't have jobs and wandered around with the few possessions they had in some kind of bag. As you can see, this poor man has very little. Of course, I'm sure he did not choose to be in this situation. He did not choose to eschew possessions. It was forced on him by economic circumstances. The kind of person we might see who would choose to eschew possessions might, for example, be a monk or a hermit. Hermit, H-E-R-M-I-T. So let's look at the first paragraph, the introduction. We clearly live in a capitalist society where there are constant exhortations, E-X-H-O-R-T-A-T-I-O-N-S, to buy stuff. Houses, cars, jewelry, clothes, almost everything you can think of. And along with all this advertising, there is the image that the person who has all this stuff will be happier than the person who doesn't. From an early age, we are told that one of our main objectives in life should be to acquire things. So we get a job, hopefully one which earns us a lot of money, and with this money we then buy things. And in the advertising images we are surrounded by, we can see people enjoying life to the full while spending their money on these possessions. So that's enough for the introduction. Second paragraph, my opinion is that we are not happier to have more possessions. So in paragraph 2, the main part of the essay, I'm going to support not having possessions. So let's begin that. I think although we are clearly encouraged to think that having things makes us happier, the most important things in life are mostly free. Good health, for example, and freedom. When you are feeling healthy and fit and have freedom to do whatever you want to do in your life, I think you can be extremely happy. Just walking, enjoying the sensations of living, talking with friends, exercising and eating simple meals makes us very happy, even though little or no money is spent. Often the people who spend most of their time pursuing money encounter severe problems. For example, they may become sick through stress or overwork. And when your body is in this condition, it does not matter how much money you have, you will not be happy. Although, of course, you will be able to pay for the most expensive doctors. I have a friend who used to work in advertising. He always wore extremely smart suits, always had a pretty girl on his arm, and the latest sports car, but he constantly complained that he did not really enjoy his work and that he was under constant stress to perform and achieve. He had been doing this job for around 10 years when one day he suddenly decided he was going to give it all up and travel around the world with a small backpack. He had enough money to get by with a frugal lifestyle. Frugal, F-R-U-G-A-L. So no more sports cars and pretty girls, but he had his freedom, and with this he decided to explore the world, and he discovered many wonderful things and had many experiences which were not dependent upon money. Notice I have brought in the past perfect tense there when I said he had been working for 10 years. So always bring in the past perfect tense if you can when you're giving your example. People who have money, we can see, nearly always sacrifice freedom at the same time. With money comes responsibility and stress, and I don't think this is a recipe for happiness. So that's the second paragraph. Now, third paragraph, just a short paragraph supporting the idea that money and possessions may make you happier. So let's begin. On the other hand, the very poor will certainly be far happier if they have a little bit of money. If you don't have enough food on your plate, you don't have somewhere to live, or you don't have clean clothes, then even the smallest amount of money is going to increase how good you feel enormously. For example, I recently read a story of a hobo who had been living on the streets of New York he had been living on the streets of New York for 2 years when he was given the opportunity to train for employment and get some funding from the government. He was able to buy clean clothes, have a nice room to stay in, and gain respect from other people which he had not had before, and you could clearly see the satisfaction and happiness in his face. That's enough for the second paragraph. Now, the fourth paragraph, the conclusion. In conclusion, no, I do not think more and more money is going to make you happy, unless, of course, you are so poor that you cannot have even the basic necessities for a good life. So that's the essay finished. What do you think? Do you think that having more stuff is going to make you happy? I think no matter what people say, many people might support my main idea in this essay, but then we will probably see them wandering around the shopping mall looking in the windows for something to buy. It seems like this habit of buying stuff is deeply ingrained in our psyche, P-S-Y-C-H-E, psyche, and people have a great deal of difficulty not putting their hand into their pocket to bring out some money and purchase something. It seems that people have difficulty being content with just doing nothing, listening to music, chatting to friends, or just taking a walk. I think this is a great shame, because actually when you are more aware, just living is an extremely pleasant thing, and it's not really necessary to have stuff. Some things are undoubtedly very useful. For example, the computer I am using now to make this recording. However, I only need one computer, and it doesn't have to be very expensive. I don't need an iPhone in addition. So the satisfaction and fulfillment I can get does not require the purchase of a lot of stuff, only one thing maybe. The same with clothes. The person who opens their closet in the morning and is overwhelmed by the choice of what to wear may feel happier if they have only 2 or 3 garments to choose from. less to think about, less to wash. I personally like to hang on to possessions. Once I find something is useful and good for my life, I will hang on to it, keep repairing it if it is damaged. For example, I have an old bag which I'm sure you would be shocked at if I took it to the university, so I wouldn't dare. But it is my favorite bag. I have had it a long time, it's very strong, and it's exactly the kind of bag which I like to use. Unfortunately, in society, we have to be aware and careful of what image we show to other people. So if I'm going to the university, then no, I cannot take this bag. People will, unfortunately, in their narrow-mindedness, think that I am a bad teacher because I have a bad-looking bag. Isn't that crazy? I think that's another unfortunate point about society, is we are always being pressured into following an image created by other people, which again restricts our freedom and also makes us obliged to buy things which we may not really want. So, what's your opinion? If you have any ideas, perhaps you may like to send me a message. And thank you for listening. Bye bye.